Good afternoon to all. It's good morning. Boy, am I behind the times. Good morning. This is the Saturday morning podcast we call Chamber Chats, or You Can't Be Serious. Today, you got a little change because Christopher Knight is going to take over the chair and the microphone on behalf of Judith Awesome. I got a call from Judith this morning around I don't know, 8 o'clock this morning. And for some reason, she had to go to the hospital. And I don't know, I've chatted with her a few times and don't know exactly what the situation is. But nonetheless, we are moving ahead. And let's all wish her well as the morning goes on, as the day goes on. Because as you know, even though I might bring it on, I am nothing like Judith. So I'm not even going to plan to be. We'll have some fun anyway and see how it goes with our special guest, Drew Griffin. Drew is a very, very accomplished digital marketing person who's come out with a number of his own products. He has studied digital marketing with some of the finest digital marketing gurus or mentors in the business, and it shows. He also is a person who considers value ahead of almost everything else. If he can provide value, and if he can provide the value that actually helps everyone involved, that is what he wants to accomplish. So without going into more detail, I'll introduce you to Drew Griffin. All right, Drew, you're on board. You're live. Here we go.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever anyone is watching this. Super excited and privileged to hang out with you today, Christopher.
That's great. It's and a pleasure to have you. I have had a chance to watch. We did post one of your videos on Friday.
Thank you for that.
Which was about your visiting with the Chamber of Commerce, the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce, as I recall. And in that presentation, you were talking to not only the chamber members, but you had a broadcast going out to the entire chamber membership base, as I understand it. So I'm sure that a lot will grow from that, Drew.
Yeah, well, it was a good opportunity. First, it was a privilege to have the opportunity to do that in front of the chamber. And as a result of doing so, it was pretty overwhelming. A lot of people reaching out to our business and just trying to figure out how to leverage this emerging technology and stuff like that. But it's a great opportunity. Anytime that you can help other businesses, particularly through the chamber, it's always a rewarding experience.
Very much so. How did you happen to get that gig, so to speak? How did that come up? Is this a chamber you've worked with a great deal?
Well, yeah, we've been doing so now, but much like your philosophy inside your really profound group, working with the chamber has been rewarding. And my business partner, David Calafiore, and I kind of teach a little bit about this in one of our groups as well, about chamber secrets and how to really navigate the chamber. As you probably have discussed ad nauseum with members inside of your group, navigating the chamber isn't always very easy, right? A lot of people think that, as you probably have mentioned, they sign up at the Chamber of Commerce and they expect a flood of business to come into them.
Yeah.
And we've found, much like you have, that's just not the case. You really have to work and provide value to the chamber itself and navigate it properly. Despite what your eyes may be telling you, and everyone that's in the audience, I am not an Instagram model. I'm not, a guru or anything like that. I'm completely joking, by the way. I'm more of an introvert, right? I'm typically the guy that's over in the corner of the room, and I don't network. I don't particularly enjoy the whole networking aspect of things, and it can be very uncomfortable to do that, right? It's particularly at business card exchanges and that sort of thing. But you have to come out of your shell, and you have to realize that if you're going to join the chamber, like the intent of joining the chamber is to provide value, and hopefully the back end is to get referrals, right? You want to build your business and get referrals from local businesses and regional members and that sort of thing. But it just doesn't work that way. So my business partner, David, and I, we were discussing this, and we felt that there was an opportunity to truly help the members of the chamber and the chamber itself by showing them how to navigate, the tech world a little bit better and lead with value, and completely show them how to use emerging technologies to better expand their world, to get the word out a little bit better about, some of the things they're doing, completely on a volunteer basis, right? We go in and we offer to do certain things that may amplify their message. And when you do that and you understand what that hierarchy of the Chamber of Commerce really is, you can do some very interesting things, and amplify their message without them having to do extra work. We understand the whole non-dues revenue thing. If you can help them put more money in their pocket, even though they're a nonprofit and so on and so forth, it's just going to expand the opportunity for them to do more of what they're supposed to do. If you make the director look fantastic, and you help all the officers look fantastic, and you help the chamber's influencers, the members that are there all the time at the ribbon cuttings, they're there at all the networking business card exchanges, they're there at the breakfasts and the lunches and the dinners and so on and so forth. These are the people that are kind of making things happen. They're making the connections between different businesses and that sort of thing. If you can make their lives better, then by virtue, you're going to make yourself better. So that's what we did. We really started leading with value and showing them how to leverage some of this emerging technology a lot better than what they were already trying to do. And that seemed to work very well. And the rest is history. So once we showed what we knew, what we could do to amplify the messages of not only the chamber, but their constituency, it caught their attention. And now we started to talk about other revenue opportunities that aren't coming specifically from members' dues. That becomes very, very interesting and appealing to the chamber. And the rest is history. Then they want you to go and speak in front of the member, the member base. You start to work and show them how to actually use and leverage this technology. Then it becomes very interesting.
All true. You hit the nail on the head in so many ways. Can you hear me okay? All right. But
I can hear you now.
That is the very course, working from the inside out. That's the very course that we hope everyone is considering. You do not go in and simply say, here's what I've got to sell you, because that's not the way it works. You go in and say, here's what I have to offer in value. Now let's talk down the road about how we might mutually benefit. So all very well said, my man.
Thank you.
Now, what did you do in real life before you got into digital marketing?
Great question. I spent about 26 years as a hyperbaric wound care nurse. Right? I was in healthcare.
Wow. Okay.
It was a very dirty and unglorifying time in my life, but also glorifying too. I was able to touch a lot of people's lives by helping them heal, but it's also traumatic, right? So I spent a lot of time working with diabetics, people that were suffering from gunshot wounds, burns, vascular problems. As we get older, our bodies change and stuff. So diabetes, vascular wounds, traumatic wounds, spending some time in the ER and so on and so forth. People that suffer from the bends, like divers and that sort of thing. But yeah, it was, for the longest time, it was gratifying to actually see wounds heal, and with advanced technologies and science and that sort of thing, we were able to help a lot of people, heal these wounds. And it's very difficult to watch, like, blood pressure get better, right? It's just invisible. You don't see it.
Right.
But with wounds, you can see a massive wound go from this to complete closure, and it gives them a new sense of life and that sort of thing. When you see burns heal and people can get back to functionality, normal everyday functionality, or at least the new normal for them, that was very gratifying. but it also had a cumulative effect, excuse me, a cumulative effect of trauma, right? When you see people at their worst every single day, you realize that it's tough. It's you don't want to see people hurting and suffering every day. So towards the end of my career was like in healthcare, it was around the advent of the iPhone. So the iPhone came out, and I've always been a programmer or a tinkerer in the background. I developed one of the first apps to help diabetics track their blood glucoses, and their blood sugars. It was a very, very basic application. It was a journal, and that application ended up getting acquired by a pharmaceutical company. And I realized in the first week, when you see your creation come to life on a device such as one of these things, you realize that, oh my goodness, this device is going to be in pretty much everyone's pocket, or at least a version of that, right? Whether it's an iPhone or an Android device. So in the first week, we saw about 33,000 downloads, and I realized my time in the clinic was pretty much over. So I started looking around online. I got hooked onto some mentors out there, Dr. Ben Atkins, as we were talking about before the show, became a mentor of mine. I started tinkering and dabbling in local marketing and kind of perfecting that kind of stuff. And the kind of the funny ending to that transition was I was working at a particular hospital, and my manager was not a very nice person. We'll leave it at that, right? And we bumped heads and so on and so forth. And so one day I realized that my time was literally really over in the clinic. I just didn't have the passion for it anymore. I did not like working 16 to 18 hours a day. And so I went in one day, and I just said, look, I've got some good news and some bad news. And she knew immediately that I was resigning, right? And then she called me into the employees lounge, and there were a bunch of physicians there and a bunch of my colleagues, other nurses and techs and that sort of thing. So she said, oh, we're really sorry that, can you reconsider leaving? The bad news is that you're leaving. We still have a lot of work. Can you stay on to help out until we find a replacement? And this person actually made my life very, very miserable. And so she's like, well, what's the good news? I say, well, I just saved $500 on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Oh, no.
And everybody in the room just like, oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Dropped the mic, and I left the room. So, I had to leave.
Good job, Drew. All right.
It was fun.
Well, yeah, the transitions between jobs is not always easy. Some people will struggle for a long time to make the decision, even though the decision's right in front of them. You did have a little backup because you had an app that was starting to take off, and that gave you some cushion. But we know for a fact there's so many people that you work with in your programs, so many people are on your group sites, so many people are on my group sites. They're simply looking at it as, hey, I can't leave my job. I don't like my job. And then we have, I'd like to jump on my soapbox just for a moment. Maybe you can give me a little backup here, is the fact that I get so tired of the people in our business who take advantage of that feeling of those people saying, okay, I can make $1,000 a week because he tells me I can make $1,000 a week if I just sign up right here for $89.95, so to speak. I see it over and over and over again. It just makes me ill because there are only a few people in this business that I follow, because I know the rest of them are absolutely full of crap. Right. So what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, listen, there is a world of charlatans out there, and they understand what the go button is for a lot of people. And listen, I fell prey to that for the longest time. I call it shelfware, right? I've bought course after course after course, and software after software, and it's just shelfware. It just sits there. And here's the thing: they're not entirely wrong, right? Certainly the decision is in our power. All of us that are watching this, and myself included. Sometimes I continue to do that. I'll invest in a course knowing that I'm going to get to it eventually. It looks like some good content, and I buy it at a discount knowing that I'll get to it eventually. but you also have to take some responsibility in this and make the decision to actually take action with the material and the content that people are teaching. Whether you invest or you don't invest doesn't make you right or wrong at all, right? It's just about making that decision. And for the longest time, here's a side piece with regards to that. We mentioned Dr. Ben Atkins, and not too long ago, I took one of his courses and I realized, listen, all the content that he was teaching is content. It was fantastic content, but unless I applied that information, I was not going to make anything happen. And literally during a webinar that he was teaching, I realized that I needed one tip, and there was a foot through the door strategy that I needed to go apply. I literally stopped watching the webinar. I went out and applied this foot in the door strategy at that point. The computer was recording this webinar, and despite the webinar recording was going to be put into a members area later on, I'm still watching it. I wanted it sooner and quicker and that sort of thing. So I completely agree with you that there's a lot of people out there putting out stuff, and it's their sometimes some of this stuff is preying on the vulnerability of a lot of people. And for that matter, I have unfollowed a lot of people, but it's also the responsibility of a lot of people to take action with this software and apply it, or take action with the courses that you're putting out there. Go out there and actually make a difference. Get out there and meet with people. Go out there and start to sell. Not even sell, but go out there and make lives better with the information and the knowledge that you possess in your brain. And I guess that's the definition of an expert. If you know a little bit more than what the general public knows, just don't take advantage of them. Go out there and get results and then apply that kind of stuff. That's what it comes down to. And I agree with you 100%, but the responsibility also comes back on all of us for actually investing in this stuff. And they will continue to put out. That's their job, is to continue to come out with new ideas and new courses and new software and stuff like that. That's never going to stop. But, find something that resonates with you, that you truly believe in, and then go apply it.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I probably come down a little too heavy on it, because I see so many people with, the programs which on their hard drives, which has nothing but dust on it. They haven't brushed it off in years. And of course, by the time they get to it, it's obsolete for the most part. It no longer is viable. I know from talking to you several times in the past, I know your family is very important to you. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Sure. So I'm married. My wife, my beautiful wife, is much better looking than I am. She is intellectually superior to me in every way. I literally married up and she married down. She's an occupational therapist and just an amazing partner. I continue to make mistakes and she continues to show me the way. So totally in love with her. And, she doesn't like to be in the public eye. So I don't really share a lot of pictures of her online and stuff at her request. But we've got 3 daughters. Madison is my eldest. She just graduated high school and is going to be heading off to Lock Haven College, Lock Haven University, in the physician assistant program. So we're super proud of her and her accomplishments. I've got a middle daughter, Erin, who is a soccer stud. She's out there playing on all kinds of teams and stuff. They're all swimmers, so they're all swimming the same swim teams throughout the summer. My eldest is going to be swimming at college as well. And my youngest is Reagan. She is going into the 6th grade. And she's been kind of a surprise over the past year or so. She's kind of on the taller side of things, and she picked up gymnastics late. And I got to tell you, she practices every day like it's nobody's business. And she's gotten so strong. She's lost weight. The perseverance and her dedication to physical excellence has taught me a lot of things. Like I watch her and she's as much as it annoys me that she's going and doing cartwheels and somersaults and flips throughout my house all the time, particularly when I'm doing like podcast interviews and stuff in the background, you'll hear the floor above me, like boom, 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 boom. She practices all day. And I, one day I realized, my goodness, she's really gotten very strong. Her balance is fantastic. And it was something really interesting, that kind of a metamorphosis of her mindset of actually participating and dedicating herself every single day. So what I extracted from that was, man, I could be doing so much better in my business if I do things consistently on a day-to-day basis. So as much as I'd like to teach them and give, pat myself on the back, or more or less pat my wife on the back, they are also teaching me. And it's just, that's really why I'm doing this is for them. So it's been a blast. I've been very blessed, and they're just fantastic kids, but thank you.
Well, just kind of a quick follow-up. I know that this is a crazy business, and I know that when you made a transition from quote a stable job, into taking somewhat of a risk to jump over, how was the family support? How do they feel about you moving in a different direction?
They're like, they think I'm crazy, right? So I'm always talking about tech and stuff. But I'm like tech support for my family. Like, Dad, I've got a problem with this iPhone and this and that. So I think there's a kind of an ebb and flow. And there is something to be said about boundaries and how you set up your day and how you navigate like a home-based business or working independently versus going and, punching a clock and going into the hospital or an office job or something like that. So there are definitely some challenges in navigating that. But at the same time, I think it's been rewarding for them because they're understanding money better. They understand how to navigate finances better. They've started their own little businesses as well. And, I employ them to a certain degree in certain aspects of the business, which is a fantastic tax write-off, by the way. I highly recommend it. It really, really helps out the finances. And at the same time, it also gives them an understanding of how to manage your time, which is really important in college. It's really important for everyday activities of learning how to navigate practices and going to this person's place and that person's place and picking people up, and then realizing Dad has to be on an interview with somebody, or working with developers, or whatever it might be. It really comes down to time management, and then understanding some of those ebb and flows in businesses, and when revenue's coming in and when we're, not hitting our goals and that sort of thing as well. Understanding the debt to profit ratios and that sort of thing. It's very, very important. So like my middle daughter, she's more of the CEO kind of mentality. She's like, yeah, I want to run businesses. I want to leverage other people's talents and that sort of thing, and learn to run businesses. So she's learning that from like eBay, and she's programming, and she's doing all this kind of stuff. My youngest is still trying to navigate stuff, but my eldest, she's like, yep, I'm going into medicine, and I'll just hire you to handle all of my tech stuff, Dad, when I'm out. So it's all good.
Well, I understand that you recently, a couple of weeks ago, apparently had one of your daughters go to Germany, and had have the typical experience in travel, and that is losing your luggage.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was, it was more stressful for me because I just wanted her to have a great experience. And I'm not going to say I'm a xenophobe or anything like that. I would just, with world stuff happening, I was more concerned than I really should have been. Right. So navigating that kind of stuff is, concerning when you're not there with them. And at some point you need to trust your employees and trust your kids to go and make the right decisions. So yeah, she lost it. They lost her luggage, and I guess they got it back 48 hours later. But understanding the differences between countries and, the way that the culture is and that sort of thing, I think was a fantastic experience for her. She's grounded. She wants to go back, and she wants to go and do her own thing. She wants to study abroad, which is that, romantic aspect of things, but she's actually serious. But it was an interesting experience. I think she deserved it. She was a fantastic straight A student, and, got scholarships and all that kind of stuff for college, which is, I'm eternally grateful for, because
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
cost of college is insane. But she deserved it. She deserved to go away. And I think it was, an experience that we want our kids to be able to experience as much as they can in life.
Well, that's and they're obviously doing that, including being involved in team sports. I think is one of the most important things that a child can go through. It teaches them more than just being in the sport. It teaches them a great deal more. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, please go ahead.
I also understand that you have a good working relationship with your business partner.
Yeah, David Calafiore.
That's almost like a family. So like I moved from your family to your business family, and that's partnerships are tough. How do you manage that as far as the relationship between you and your partner?
I think we complement each other, right? In this business of internet marketing and app development and stuff like that, it can be very lonely. And David is he's got amazing talent and fantastic business acumen. He's a processes kind of guy. He's very, very creative. And I think we just bounce off each other in a way that allows us to keep the momentum moving. And we agree on a lot of things, right? Of course, we disagree on some things here and there, and that would be natural. But I got to say, it's a great friendship. He's got a lovely family, and I think our schedules complement each other. But we're also able to accomplish a lot by working together in the background. We've got goals. We've set goals for our business, and our business philosophy is truly to help people. And circling back to what you were talking about before, circumventing the BS that's out there and really just kind of amplifying what's working for us. We believe in being practitioners. So one of the things that we talk about a lot is local media assets is one of the courses that we create. And effectively what it is flipping the model. And what we noticed a few years back was the competition on the local marketing scene became very Me Too-ish, right? It's very crowded. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, you don't need a certification. You don't need a degree that says, hey, I'm an internet marketer, or I'm a local marketer, I'm certified in Facebook ads, or the litany of other things that a lot of local businesses or local marketers, provide that's out there. So what we noticed, literally in real time, we were working with chiropractors and dentists and med spas and all that kind of stuff. Literally while we're there, 5, 6, 7 calls, 10 calls would come in from, other local marketers trying to, work with our clients, working for the same clients. And there's more than enough room for a lot of people, but we just realized that, how do you navigate that and work with these clients and not have them be distracted by a lot of the stuff that's out there. Like, we're not afraid of competition, but by the same token, when you've got 10 SEO guys coming in and 10 Instagram guys coming in, how do you differentiate with that? So we flipped the model a little bit and we started doing our own stuff and building up what we call local media assets, our own properties. And then showing the results back to our group and to our students and stuff like that is like, hey, instead of competing with all the Me Too businesses out there, why not you create your own media company and then lend that attention to your local businesses? So by leading with integrity and actually going out there, like a lot of people will say, theory and conjecture, right? It's like, hey, go do this, 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 and this, but they never do that, right? Like, this is kind of speaks to your point earlier where they're selling fluff and BS. Well, we're actually going out there and holding up this iPhone here, and we're actually doing a recording of us connecting with these local business, like foot in the door strategies, and showing them exactly what we're doing behind the scenes. Complete transparency. You don't see a lot of that inside the market. So we believed in that integrity, and as a result of that, I think it's formed a fantastic bond. Not only because we're being transparent, but we're actually getting real results for our clients, and then sharing that back into our groups and teaching people to do the exact same thing. And it's been fantastic and rewarding to actually see people transition from that cocoon of like staying in behind their computer and hoping that the computer is going to land them a ton of clients, right? Now they're going out into the communities, they're going into the chambers of commerce, they're going out and actually executing. And that's been the most rewarding thing that, that's a lot of payment that David and I really resonate with.
And you get satisfaction from it too, I'm sure, in the
100%.
process.
100%.
It's good to see someone that sends in a comment that said, oh, by the way, look what I was able to do just this last week. Those always are welcome and feel very, very good. Have any of your products or promos failed? And
Sure.
so what did you learn from it? How do you always deal with those situations? We think it's the hottest thing since sliced bread, and boom, it ends up being moldy in 2 weeks. So,
yeah, I love failure. Right? Is it uncomfortable? Absolutely, but failure is a great educator. You just learn what works and what doesn't work, and particularly what we try to do if we're teaching something out there, we like to teach what's working and what is not working. By going out there and DMing or direct messaging people over Facebook, more or less spamming people all the time. Does it work? Of course it works, but it's not the best feeling when you're just sending out 100 different messages. It could actually harm your account if you do that, right? Because Facebook understands, I'm just using it as an example, but we've had failed software launches. We've had failed, courses that didn't completely resonate with people. And then we look internally to see, hey, did we not explain something correctly? Because it's actually working for us. It's not working for other people. Let's try to figure out and diagnose why. So failure is just part of the game. And so is rejection, right? So like actually knocking on that door. Hi, my name is Drew from such and such, right? You're going to get rejected. And even now, even though we're having a lot of success with this whole local media asset program and course that we're putting out there, there are often times that businesses, they just don't want to deal with us at all. And that's okay. That's okay. But there are, as what's that saying with John Paul Getty, right? If he had 100, quick gas stations out there and one burns down, he still has 99 others that are feeding his family and his business. So yeah, the same principle is just because somebody says no doesn't mean it's no forever. But there's also all kinds of other businesses that you can be working with, whether it's pizza restaurants or chiropractors, physicians, plastic surgeons, whatever it might be. Someone's going to recognize the value that you bring, and who knows? You just learn from that experience, and it's always a fantastic story to say. It's like, oh man, I got rejected today. They were so rude, or they rejected me in the nicest way ever, and it was fantastic. So yeah,
we see a lot of that. That's for sure.
Sure.
And I don't care, of course, personally, and I believe this with a great deal of sincerity. We do have quicker paths to contact now, more so than ever before. When I started 10, 12 years ago, we didn't have all these tools. It was still knock on the door or get involved with the Chamber of Commerce, which is how I built my agency. But it's totally different. However, I keep saying, go back to the basics. You have to press the flesh. You have to get to know somebody personally, not necessarily just for the business, but for that contact, because you never know who that person knows.
That's right.
So developing those networks and those people and those influencers out there will do nothing but grow your business. And I'll twist it around back to the Chamber for a moment. Why do you think working with the Chamber is so important?
Well, it's one to many, right? It's an establishment. It's a network. It's a fraternity of technically right off the bat of like-minded people. They're in business. And I think, if you can navigate the Chamber itself and deliver value, I mean, most of those businesses are probably established. Some are new. The percentages are always different from chamber to chamber, right, but the mission is typically the same. It's about the community. It's about empowering the community, improving your business. So learning to navigate it more properly instead of going in and just handing out business cards, rapid fire, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff. Learn to make those connections and resonate with those people on a much higher level, and then genuinely and authentically refer based upon your relationship. And I think that makes, on a very surface level, it makes, it makes it easier, right? If you knew that there was, I don't know, we'll just use a roundabout number. Maybe it's a chamber of 300 businesses, maybe a small chamber. Would you rather go and knock on 300 doors, or would you rather go in and connect with all 300 in one visit? You're leveraging time. And of course, you're not going to connect with all 300 at that given time, but over the course of a year, you could absolutely connect with every single one of those businesses on a much higher level. Going back to the tech side of things, let's make a parallel here. It's about engagement, in my opinion. It's about engagement and adding and leading with value first. So if you're connected with a bunch of people on Facebook, let's say you've got 500 people or 1,000 people, if you're engaging on their photographs or their post on Facebook, they're going to get that little red dot that happens in the top right-hand corner, right? I mean, we all see it when we send messages back and forth for Facebook Messenger. There's 5, 6, the number 7 in a little red circle pops up. And if you genuinely and authentically comment on these particular posts, whether it's humorous or whether it's political or whether it's, business related and that sort of thing, if you engage with those folks, you're going to get on the radar. You're going to get on the radar of these businesses or the people that are on Facebook. The same thing's happening in the chamber. If you go out and authentically attend the events and genuinely be interested in, who they are, and what their business does and who would best be a customer for those folks, now you're extending their network through yours. Bob Berg wrote a great book. I think it's The Go-Giver. I think that's what it's called. And, I actually met Bob a few times. And one of the statements that he says in that book, I think is profound is, if I came up to you and said, Christopher, tell me about your business and who is the ideal customer or group member for chamber influencers? Like, who would you really like to have inside this group? Now I'm extending your network to mine. And if I truly and authentically know that there's people that would benefit from your service or your group, man, it's like an unpaid salesperson, uncommissioned salesperson sending you traffic and sending, authenticity back to you.
Yes.
And that's very difficult to replicate in the real world, even with paid employees. Sometimes they're just not thinking like that. They're thinking about their paycheck and what they're going to end up getting at the end of the week, as opposed to the value and the service that they can bring back to that business. They should be thinking, like we just mentioned, like, hey, Chris, or, I ran across somebody that, is considering joining the chamber, but they don't know how to navigate this. Do you mind if I send, this person or these 5 people over to you? And I've just brought 5 people into your group that could benefit from the teachings that you're providing. And if we shift that method out a little bit, like, hey, Sal from Sal's Pizza, who's your ideal customer? Anybody that likes pizza, Drew, right? So I go out and I interview Sal from Sal's Pizza. I do the taste test and I put that video up on Facebook. God, and I put it out to one of my local media assets. Guys, you got to come by and check out, this stromboli or this pizza or whatever it is. It is the best pizza I've ever tasted, even though I'm going to go and think that there's the best pizzas the next place too. They're going to get value out of that because a lot of people are going to see that video. Now they're going to come in and check out Sal's Pizza and so on and so forth. It's I think the chamber is probably the number one place that people should start. And if you go in and you navigate and lead with value, it could be one to many very, very quickly. And for most part, most local marketing agencies or anyone that's starting a business, if you get a handful of customers and clients right out of the bat, you're going to be busy for, all you need. I mean, most average digital agencies don't have a ton of clientele. So what happens when you bring in 5 to 10 new clients into that business? It changes their revenue and it changes their complete construction of their agency. Yes. And going into a chamber of commerce that has 300, 400, 500, maybe 1,000 new businesses, getting 5 to 10 new clients with something specifically that you help with them in the local market puts you in business and keeps you in business.
Well, I found that to be extremely true. As in, after the first 2 years of my agency, and because of the contacts with the chamber, 80% of my business came from referrals. I mean, they were calling me. I wasn't going out knocking on doors as much anymore. And it all stemmed right from there. Sometimes I scratch my head because I know that some people in the group are going, a Chamber of Commerce. Even though they're in the group, they still don't quite get it. So it amazes me sometimes, and I love them all. And it's a slow process, but we're making some headway, Drew, in that process.
You're doing great work.
But just before we move into some specific things, no, that's the wrong one there. Hang on a second. Yep. Everything was going so smoothly, right? There you go.
It still is.
Where do you see your business 5 years from now?
Growth. I'm living in the moment. I'm planning for the future, and our anticipation is we've got some products that were planned. Both courses as well as applications, both mobile applications and web-based products that we believe will continue to grow over the next 5 years. Our goal is probably shifting into building even more relationships. We've been blown away by the support of people, and we love to reciprocate. We love to see other people's successes. And we believe that there's going to be even more partnerships that evolve over time, and we become more of a cheerleader to allow the business to grow. We also believe that there's many more smart people than we are in our business. So hopefully we're going to be bringing more people into our business and grow and watch what people can do. And that's really what it comes down to is, if you can grow the entity and allow people to take it in directions that are going to be beneficial for even more people, we believe that is a great thing to aspire to. So we're excited. We're excited about the economy. We're excited about what people are doing with our products. We're cheering on other people and their products. And competition is always going to be fantastic. And we want to continue to grow our current existing user base of our courses as well as our software. And we're excited. We're excited about some new products that were coming out, new features that we're adding into existing content. Things are always changing. Facebook changes all the time. Instagram changes all the time. There's new platforms that are coming out that we're learning to leverage and derive value from and add value into it. But we know that it absolutely involves the chamber. In fact, we're interested in getting connected with a heck of a lot more chambers, not only here in Pennsylvania, but regionally as well in other states. So my goodness, the chambers just provide an immense opportunity. And if you're just staying on a local level, you're not growing. Well, you can be growing, but probably not at the pace where you're actually making those moves and making more value to all the chambers that are out there. So 5 years, 10 years, we believe that the business will continue to grow. Otherwise, you got to have a quick exit plan. And right now we're not considering exit at this point.
You mean you're not ready to go ahead and just sell your business to the next billionaire? Okay.
Not yet. Hey, we're always open for offers, and parlaying that into the next thing is always something that we're always considering.
Well, I watched a video actually late last night, early this morning, that you had made last night, and it's about a product that you call Everlinks. I think. Would you like to go into some detail? This program is very different as far as our group is concerned. It's freewheeling, as far as products out there and the people who are developing certain products that we feel are beneficial. This is the place to do it. And so with you coming on and me watching some of the things that we're developing in that area, I thought you might like to share something about that and maybe even chat with some of the people about becoming involved. So take it away, my man. It's yours.
Well, thank you very much. Well, so Everlinks is our latest release, and I'll share the screen in just a moment. But Everlinks is a software platform that my business partner, David Calafiore and I recently launched. And basically, it's a quick and rapid website builder. It's democratized, where it's made the ability to create these websites super easy, super quick. You don't need to have any tech knowledge whatsoever. It's more or less plug and play. Super inexpensive, right? A lot of the solutions that are out there are $97 a month or $49 a month or $297 a month. We've taken that into consideration and more or less made a lifetime deal offer for this platform. So what Everlinks does is it allows you, for the surface level, a lot of people that are on Instagram, you only have one opportunity to leverage the link in the bio. So I'm going to pull this up for just a second, but Everlinks allows pretty much anybody to expand the link in the bio feature inside of Instagram. So Instagram.com/Drew M. Griffin is, let's see here. I'm just going to pull this up and be prepared here and show you my screen. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share this screen here and you guys can see what's going on. So I think, Christopher, you're going to need to allow me to share that screen there. Oh, no, I think I'm here now. There we go. Let me know if you see my screen. It should be here in Everlinks. Oh, there we go. Yes. All right. So here we are on Instagram. And Instagram, what we have found is a fantastic resource to allow people to share visual content in the form of video and imagery. And there's only one aspect, one area on Instagram for the most part that allows people to share links. And that's inside of your bio. So this is the link right here. And often as you're putting posts on a mobile phone, what we've realized is that most traffic on Instagram or pretty much on any website out there comes from a mobile device. A lot of people are more mobile these days. They're not always in front of their laptop or their computer and whatnot. So they're digesting and consuming content on a mobile phone. So what we realized on a lot of our webinars and a lot of our website traffic and stuff comes from a mobile device based upon links that we're putting out there. So it just made sense that, let's say this particular image here, if I clicked on this, you can see, hey, there's a bunch of content here. I was actually showing people that I was actually using our software and so on and so forth. They said, look, just showed Everlinks to a local business who was interested in leveraging Instagram to help bring more attention and leads. So most of the time when people see something like this, they'll head over to your bio. And of course, this is what the bio looks like right up here at the top. And from there, you'll see a link that allows people to go ahead and click on this particular link. So that being said, this is the software here. Hopefully, yeah, you're seeing it now. So this is the back end of Everlinks, and we're going to put a nice little special offer for anybody that's watching this. You can pick up Everlinks for free right now. There's a free level, there's a pro level, there's an agency level. And let me show you on the back end of this is what it actually does. So Everlinks is a software that more or less creates, links on your inside that you can put inside the link that's in your bio. Like this thing right here is a URL. So you can put this to facebook.com or google.com or whatever it might be. But if somebody clicked on this particular link, this is what it's going to look like. Right. So boom, inside this page, it looks fantastic on mobile. You could actually embed videos. You can put links to all different destinations that you want. If you want to send somebody over to your LinkedIn profile, you can do it. You want to send somebody to your Snapchat profile, you can do it. You want to send them to a PDF that you've got online, you can do it. You want to send them to a Facebook group, you can do it. Guys, anywhere that has a URL, you can actually send them to that particular area. So with that being said, I'm going to show you the back end of the software real quick, and then we'll get back to discussion. So essentially what you do is you hit new page and we're going to say, chamber influencers, right? And you just hit create. And just like that, you've got this iPhone emulator that pops up. Now, everything that's on here, you can modify. You can adjust the colors, the looks, the feel, the font, all kinds of stuff, including the logo. This is just kind of a temporary placeholder. But now you've got essentially 4 choices. You can add new links, you can add videos if you want to, embed codes, and text. So we'll go ahead through each one of these and kind of show you a quick example. This is Chamber Influencers Group, right? And I'll just highlight this, I'll bold it, and maybe center align it here, and maybe adjust the font to, say, I don't know, header 4, and then I turn this sucker on, and boom, over here on the left-hand side, it says this is Chamber Influencers Group. Now, if I wanted to add a link, I can do so. Boom, I hit the link. You can see at the top, it actually tells you what the module is. So link, right? So I'll type in, just for example purposes, join Chamber Influencers Group, right? And then I'll just, for the demo purposes, I'll just put in https google.com, because I don't have the URL to the group right here. And if I hit the toggle button on, boom, right there it becomes a link. So now if somebody's coming over to the Instagram profile of whoever's in the Chambers, the Chamber Influencers Group, and they actually click on this button from Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever you're actually putting this URL out there, it's going to take them directly into the Chambers Influencers Group. Well, as an example, obviously, if I clicked on this right now, it would take me over to google.com. Pretty much anywhere we put this destination in, right? And then we've got other cool things that you can do with this particular button. I can add images in here with a thumbnail. I just click on upload thumbnail, and it's going to bring up all kinds of stuff here. I can put in, my face right here. It says Drew Griffin, 300. Basically, I can just, put in my image here, and it'll pop up right on the side of this particular button. So let's say you're an affiliate marketer. You can promote whatever affiliate product that you want, whether it's an ebook or a t-shirt or a software program or whatever it might be, maybe over on Amazon, merch by Amazon, or there's a latest podcast gear or something like that. Boom, if you're testing it out, you've got a video, they click on this particular button, it's going to take them over to Amazon. And if they purchase it, guess who gets the commission, right? You get the commission, which is pretty cool. You can put videos in here. So click in a video button here, and you just put a video URL in, whether it's a YouTube video or a Vimeo video, you just grab the URL. So let's go ahead and over to YouTube and grab a URL of a video. Doesn't matter what video it is. We're just using this as an example here. So we'll go ahead and, we'll just grab this one right here, which is pretty cool. And I'll just come up here and grab this YouTube URL. Doesn't really matter what it is. We're just showing you an example. Boom, I come back over to Everlinks, and I pop in this video URL. I toggle on the on button, and boom, there is a video right there. If I wanted to take this video and put it up to the top, you can scroll to the top here and drop it. And there you go. The video is at the top. So imagine having your own Everlinks page, and you do an introduction. Hey, this is Drew Griffin with Chamber Influencers. And listen, hey, you got to love this group over here. They talk all about how to leverage and provide value to the Chamber of Commerce. Go ahead and click the link below and join the influencers group and learn all about it, right? So now you're leveraging Instagram to introduce yourself and the Chamber Influencers group by doing this. You can do embed codes too. So if you've got a checkout page for, say, Thrivecart or Samcart, or maybe you're a podcaster and you want to attract new guests, and you put a Calendly type of application out there, or a Book Like a Boss type of deal, you can click on the embed button, and down here at the bottom, you can just embed the HTML for whatever that application is that you want. It's very, very expansive, and it allows you to do very, very interesting things with this page. Likewise, if we go back to this link, I will just show you a couple of the other features here. You can actually make this link wobble and do all kinds of animated things here. So if I click on this, you can see that it's buzzing a little bit. It captures visual attention. The wobble button up and down The skew kind of changes the look and feel of the button itself. It also pops as well. So different types of animations. We'll probably be adding some more in there relatively soon, but we've got some other cool features that are going to be coming out. This button here is scheduling, right? So if you've got a certain interview that you want to display, or a special offer that you're putting out there, you can put a start time and an end time, as well as a time zone. So the link actually shows and disappears at the times that you designate, which is pretty cool. And of course, you've got stats. So obviously, we just created this one. There's not many stats because nobody's really clicking on this particular link right now. But once they click on it, you get interesting statistics, and you can measure the efficacy of your stuff. And likewise, if you wanted to delete a particular link or a module, you could just hit the trash can button, and that would do that. But very quickly, we'll head over into page settings. You can see that once we get into the page settings, all of the look and the feel is completely customizable. So we actually, my business partner, David, put in some typical types of color palettes here. So this might look like Snapchat, right? So you got the black and the yellow, which right away changes the look and the feel of this particular page. If you want a LinkedIn look, boom, we changed it to black and blue here. If you want it to look kind of like Facebook, we go ahead and change this. So you've got gray and a white background for the hover, and then something for Instagram as well. Boom, we click on this, and it's kind of a pink background and orange hover type of deal. All this is adjustable by clicking on this link here, and you can come in through here and change the colors and the button text, the border colors, the button style, on and on and on and on. And obviously you can insert your Facebook links as well. So if I came in here and type facebook.com/Drew@Griffin, then boom, once I click on this, you'll see down at the bottom here, my social link popped in here. We can actually take this and put it up here at the top as well. So let's go and scroll to the top here. It says social icons at the top. We've got little hover buttons here that kind of teach you what to do to actually make the functionality of this pop. When we click on this, and right at the top here, there's a link that takes people directly over to my Facebook account, and it goes on and on. You can change the page title. One caveat here is once you change this, the URL that you're sending out actually changes as well. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. So down at the bottom, we've got some pretty cool things here for the agency level. You can actually invite other people to manage this page and do it for you. So if you've got a virtual assistant, it gives you the ability to give them the power to come in here and change and augment stuff as you wish. You can add in a Facebook open graph. So when somebody actually shares this URL, it pulls in a specific image that represents this particular page. And we've got Google Analytics. We're going to be adding in Facebook pixels as well, probably in the next week or two, and potentially CNAME, so you can actually change the URL to whatever URL that you want it to look like. So we'll go ahead and change this back to this. We'll go ahead and upload a logo too. So I'll put my face in there just to keep it consistent with the brand, and we'll find it over here just to show you how that changes the look. Boom, we hit open, and then we'll scroll this down, hit crop and upload image. Now you can see that the icon here changed to my avatar, my face, which is pretty cool. So this is basically a gist of the agency level of this. We've got a couple different values. We've got a free level, which just provides links. We've got a pro level, which gives you 5 pages. And then the agency level gives you unlimited everything. So you can actually go out and sell these pages if you want to, or you can manage these for other people or use it as a foot in the door type of strategy. And yeah, so that's basically it. And yeah, I'm going to come back in here, pop in, and say hello to everybody again. But that's the gist of Everlinks. Right now, we've got a couple of different plans. $0 for the free level. Again, that gives you pretty much what all of our competitors do. It gives you unlimited links in the bio if you want to just use it and test it out, see what that kind of functionality is. There will be some prompts for you to upgrade to Pro, which right now is, I believe $49. And then at the top level, there is it's $99 lifetime for you to use Everlinks as an agency level partner that you can go out and create unlimited pages, unlimited links, unlimited videos, unlimited forms to put in email forms, pretty much everything. We're going to have all kinds of training on the inside, but we think that Everlinks really just democratizes the ability for people to create quick loading, fast web pages that specifically to be used in the link in the bio, but you can use these pages pretty much anywhere, right? You can use them to get out there and do some very interesting things for on behalf of local businesses and clients, particularly the Chamber of Commerce, right? A lot of people are always looking for web development and that sort of thing. So the best way to do that is to head over to everlinks.io. And that's it. You can get familiar with the platform. And, if you are interested in upgrading, David and I will put a special package together and democratize that price for you for Chamber Influencers Group members. Just send a support ticket into us over at Everlinks. Just let us know that you're a member of the Chamber Influencers Group, and we'll make sure that we take good care of you. So that's it, guys. I really appreciate the time and opportunity here. Hopefully, Christopher can pop in back here if you have any questions or any questions came in from the audience. I'll be glad to answer anything.
Great job. Yeah, great job. Absolutely enjoyable. And what a unique way Bob Mankin, which is had stated, what a great foot in the door for a variety of reasons. Another question we had here was from Rick Shear. And his question was, is Everlink specific for Instagram only?
No, it's not. Although a majority of people will probably leverage it on that platform. These links exist anywhere. You can use them anywhere. You send Facebook ads to these pages, and they love it because they load very quickly. And you can get right to the point. There's not a lot of fluff on the page. It's actually designed that way so you can get right to the point. If you want to build out a landing page, it could be a video there with a headline. You can do an entire blog on that page if you wanted to, and put in embed code for, say, a PDF or a lead magnet that you want to do. We're using them in Facebook. We're using them on Twitter. We're using them in Reddit. We're using them pretty much everywhere that we can, wherever you can put a URL, really. But we find that this is a great resource that expands the functionality of that link that's in the bio on Instagram. We find that the ability for local marketers to dominate local on Instagram is there for the taking. Particularly if you go out there and start using hashtags with local town names, for example, hashtag Philadelphia or hashtag Douglasville, Pennsylvania, you can find opportunities to connect with local Instagram users, whether they're businesses or regular consumers or citizens inside your community. As your page grows out, it can be very, very interesting for you to build out awareness of your local business. In particular, if you're running a local media asset or you're running a local directory, you can actually build a directory right into Everlinks and then sell access to those particular links. For example, if you were following along, you can see that you can upload unlimited links that are in there. You can say, click here to see all the auto dealers in Douglasville, Pennsylvania. They click on that, it links over to another Everlinks page, and you can put, Meineke, and you can put in CJ's Tire and so on and so forth, all the different auto places that are right there. So the opportunity here is, let's say you build up your Instagram account, you've got 10,000 people in a populace of 15,000 people inside your local area, right? I live in Douglasville, Pennsylvania, with a census of about 17 to 20,000 people. If I've got a page that's 15 to 20,000 people, pretty much everybody in that local area was probably following the page. So why wouldn't any local business want to get in front of those people, right? You put them inside your directory and you charge them a nominal fee to be inside that directory, and then perhaps show them how to build out their web pages, or perhaps a menu, right? Like a local pizza place. Often they don't have a ton of disposable revenue or income to invest in a complete website that redesign, or some of them don't even have them. With something like this, they can put their entire menu in there. They can do click to call. They can do, hey, here's our pizzas, here's our menu, here's our stromboli, here's our sandwiches, here's our breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right there on the Everlinks page. That's very appealing, specifically if they've got a visual type of business, right? Restaurant taking pictures of pizza and whatever it might be. Becomes very interesting as they put their content out to Facebook and say, hey, here's a pizza pie that we made today. For more items on our menu, click the link in the bio. They go over there, boom, it's right there on their mobile device, and the site loads super, super quick, and people can access the menu or whatever it is that whatever is in the eye of the beholder, right? There's so many different ways. Last night I was talking about messenger bot contests. We run messenger bot contests a lot for local businesses, and we're building massive lists of people through these contests. Last night I was talking and referencing, there's like 17 to 20 weeks coming up relatively soon here in the United States that's going to be wildly popular for a ton of content, right? It revolves around the NFL season. I'm a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan, and my goodness, the opportunity to connect with local businesses that are interested in running a contest to give away a $25 gift card or a $50 gift card in exchange for names and email addresses of people, on Facebook is a profound way. Last night I showed you one of our least performing, showed the people that I was doing on a Facebook Live, one of our least performing contests. And we put 500 people on a list over a course of a week for a pizza place. That's lights out. Offering 500 new customers deals on your pizza and your hoagies and your restaurants or your Subways or your sub sandwiches and all that kind of stuff. Huge opportunity to not only build up your list but also the list of a local customer by just using visual display of, hey, this week we've got a contest coming up and we're connecting with Sal's Pizza of Birdsboro. Comment on this particular contest for your chance to win a $50 gift card. Well, on the back end, Sal's Pizza has 500 people that he can now make offers to that, of people that didn't win the contest, right? They can say, hey, you didn't win the $50 gift card, but we're hosting a 2-for-1 this Thursday night. Instant revenue opportunity for him to send out one broadcast message through us, for a nominal fee or something like that, reaches that entire list, and we've directly impacted the revenue for that particular local restaurant. 17 weeks of opportunity to connect with other local restaurants or chiropractors or massage therapists or whatever it might be makes it very, very fun to leverage the platform.
But having watched that presentation last night, I had put up on screen the link to that video. So if anyone wants to take a screen capture or copy that URL, that is the presentation he's speaking of that he did last night.
Thank you.
How many different platforms can this reach?
Unlimited. Right? It's a URL.
If somebody says, is this only for Instagram?
You can use it anywhere. You can use it in LinkedIn. You can use it on Pinterest. Yeah, you can use it in LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. You can put it in email. You can put it on YouTube. Anywhere that accepts a URL, a web address, you can use Everlinks to create a link to these types of pages.
Okay. Would you like to give a link of any type as far as the people watching to be able to plug in to Everlinks?
Yeah, sure. So if you want to check it out, we've got a brief demo there as well. You can sign up for a free account. It's everlinks.io. So everlinks.io is probably the best way to at least become familiar with this platform. And then after the call, we'll put something together. If anybody wants to upgrade, we'll give you a discount, to upgrade to pro or to agency as well. It's a great opportunity to get involved in this and maybe even extend this to your customers and your clients, particularly the Chamber of Commerce. If you go in and show them actually how to use this tool, it's a great foot in the door strategy to allow people to functionally improve their links that are in their bio, or if they don't want to deal with a web developer or anything like that, very easy, very quick to come in and create your own little mini websites that are highly functional. We make sales through these every single day for various types of products. We generate leads with these pages, and this isn't a knock at any of the more expensive web builders that are out there. We love them. We love those companies. We just wanted to democratize the process or make it easier for people to do it themselves.
Very good. I probably overstepping a little bit, but let me ask you a favor.
Sure.
Specifically for chambers of commerce, could you put together like a 5-minute overview of how best this could be used in order to provide value to a chamber of commerce?
Sure.
Provide that to the group.
I'll verbally say it right now. My goodness, if the Chamber of Commerce benefits from new members coming in and awareness of their programs and their services. So very quickly using Everlinks to create a menu of the schedule that they're putting out there to bring awareness of chamber events, whether they're golf outings or ribbon cuttings or a feature on a local business, maybe even the chamber's podcast, right? You can embed the podcast episodes directly into Everlinks and start to give exposure for the chamber by way of your Instagram account or by way of your LinkedIn account or your Snapchat account. The more that you can promote the chamber, the less burden it becomes on them to have to do it all for themselves. And if you become a champion of the Chamber of Commerce and show your relationship to that chamber by exposing them through, say, the schedule. Hey, these are some of the events that are coming up at the Chamber of Commerce. This is a fantastic opportunity for you to bring your family to it. Like here in the Reading, Pennsylvania area, they often do a lot of stuff with the Reading, Philadelphia Phillies. So, boy, chamber night at the Reading Phillies is a great opportunity to bring out your entire family, discounted prices. It's a revenue generator for them and that sort of thing. So very, very easily, I will, if you want, I'll put it together a nice little demo video of how to use this for the chamber. And then you can lead with this and say, hey, we can either give you, your own page for free, which is really cool, right? If you're an agency member, you get unlimited of these pages. You can literally just give them this page, send access to whoever their social media team is or their marketing team, and teach them how to use this tool. Very, very quick loading, fast pages that they can upload their pages to, their schedule of events, upload all of their podcast information, maybe even a form that people are interested to learn more about the chamber. They put their name, their email address, very much like an opt-in form. It's really only limited to your imagination, but we will be talking a lot more about how to leverage a tool like this to lead with value for the Chamber of Commerce and for your businesses individually, and how to use and lead with this with value. It's a fantastic way to build out your own lists as well as the lists of the Chamber and other local businesses.
Okay, very good, Drew. I look forward to that brief overview, and of course within that. Go ahead and list the links that they can use in order to take advantage of your promotion and your product. And I will look forward to it personally, as a matter of fact. Do you have any final things you'd like to say? Or if anybody's out on a comment and wants to make a final comment, I'll be happy to show it on the screen. So any last words, Drew?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to come and connect with you. As always, I think you're doing fantastic stuff here inside the group, and I know that your heart's in the right place, and you're teaching people about how to add a lot of value to the chamber and also leverage the power of the chamber. So my recommendation is if you're not following what Christopher's doing and saying to do, don't do it at your own peril. Get out there and start adding and connecting with your local Chamber of Commerce. It's been a fantastic way to meet a lot of people, not necessarily going out and trying to sell. Listen, the sales will come over time, but my goodness, the pathway to success can certainly be found by connecting with your local chamber of commerce. It is about what you're putting into it. So follow what Christopher is saying here. He's leading you on the right path. This group is a fantastic group. I'm going to be participating a heck of a lot more in here as seen fit by yourself and other admins inside the group.
You're very welcome, of course.
Thank you.
Rick Shearer has a question.
Sure. On
the free platform, how many pages can you create?
So here's a little inside secret. You can create as many free accounts as you want. So right now that page is created to one page, but for the most part, most people are going to have their one Instagram account and one social media platform, that sort of thing. So yeah, you get one page and it kind of tells you about all those different links. You can actually put in just the links right now. The Pro plan includes all the other different features that are out there. We believe it's worth the investment at what the current price is. It expands it out a little bit to give you 5 pages. So if you've got 5 different Instagram accounts, or if you want to work with, another business, you can do that on their behalf. The best way to do it is through the agency plan. It gives you unlimited of everything. And with that being said, you get to upload your avatars, you get unlimited links, unlimited text, unlimited embed codes, unlimited video modules as well. We're going to be building in CNAME access, which basically means instead of using everlinks.io as the URL, you can use your URL and remove the branding and all that kind of stuff. So it's very unique to you and your platform. And it also throws in the ability to invite team members in from your business partners inside the community, which might be the Chamber of Commerce and so on and so forth. Any timing on that date? Probably about 2 weeks. So we're working on very hard in the background, and everybody that does pick up the agency, they'll automatically start to see some of those changes on the platform. CNAME and podcast player, we're working on some things in the background, but we've got a roadmap of that will be releasing relatively soon, and all the other different types of features like viral contests and that sort of thing as well. Rick Shearer has another question for us, Drew. Sure. Do you recommend using Everlinks from a management standpoint, or offering the chamber to purchase on their own as an affiliate? That's in the eyes of the beholder, right? So sometimes it's good to offer both, right? So you can go out there and do it as some businesses out there, right? So like a chiropractor, they're the medical practice. Some of them are becoming marketers too, so they kind of want to know all the different things. But what I have found personally in my business is there are certain things that I'm strong at, like bookkeeping is not one of them, right? I don't like that stuff. So, I hire somebody else to do it. A lot of businesses, they want to know what the benefit and what the value is going to bring to them, and then they just pass it off to you for management. So you can do one of two different things, or even both, right? So you can manage it, just like you mentioned, for a certain fee per month. And bring some new ideas and learn some of the tactics and the things that we're doing with the platform. Or you can just say, hey, buy this product through this affiliate link, sign up as an affiliate, and go ahead and pick up this Everlinks thing. You get 50%. So either on the monthly, which we have a base program that's like $5 a month or $10 a month or whatever it might be. And then some people just like to buy it outright because they know they're going to be using the tool way past 5 or 6 months or even 10 months down the road. So from the affiliate side, we also give 50% on the pro, as well as the agency plan as well. So, it's a nominal disbursement or commission that you would earn. But guys, there's 1 billion people on Instagram as a platform, right? Yeah. So if you start to follow people on Instagram that are, not leveraging that link in the bio, a simple quick DM, a direct message to them, say, hey, here's a little tool you might want to consider. You got 1 billion potential people at your disposal, as potential customers. So we're extremely excited about the growth potential here and people leveraging the platform. So, it's up to you. I mean, you can do one or both or neither and just use this personally. I think, leading with value and showing people how to listen, if people are looking for a website redesign and they realize that 100% of their traffic is mobile, and you show them a tool like this, you could probably help them. This is a service in of itself. If you can save somebody thousands of dollars in website development and give them a tool like this, you know, they will probably be very grateful. So
Yeah,
it's up to you.
all right, and keep flowing here just a moment. Bob Mankin says there is a similar software like this out there, but more that I'm aware of, complete to the features set of Everlink. At the agency level, this is a no-brainer.
Thank you.
He's saying, yes, there might be something like it, but it doesn't compare. I think
you.
that's what Bob is trying to say there.
Yeah, there's going to be listen, to speak to that, there are some very talented people that are out there, and we love some of those other solutions as well. We've used it as inspiration. Listen, there's other similar types of services as you just mentioned, and we are adding more features into this that people can expand it. So thank you for the compliment. And listen, the model and improve type of approach to things is, you know, it's a great thing, right? If you can add features and add functionality to stuff, why not do it, right? You know, there's Ford, there's Chevrolet. Listen, if you go down the bread aisle at your local store, and this is actually a interesting business principle. If you're afraid of the whole imposter syndrome, which is very real out there, right? The imposter syndrome, like, oh, somebody's doing the exact same thing as me, right? Of course they are. Look at how many doctors there are in the world. If you go down the bread aisle, there's probably 50, 60, 70 different types of bread, you know, companies are out there,
Yeah,
soda,
you're right.
You know, cereal, whatever. How do you make yours better, right? Some of these, they're fantastic functionalities that are out there. You just need to, you know, come up with a different page builder or add a new feature, something that's really going to provide value to. That's typically what our answer is to that. But thank you for the compliments on that. That's really what we're going for is we want to make a better product, and probably our features will be copied as well. And then we just continue to improve it and continue to improve it. As long as we're bringing value to the community, I think that's really what the goal should always be.
Fantastic, Drew. On a personal note, I had a little brief one here. Apparently, Judith is feeling better, so
awesome.
She said a thank you to me, which is unnecessary because she does more for me than I would ever be able to do for her anyway. And besides that, I'm not quite as good looking as she is, so you know, you had to deal with that today, Drew.
She's much better looking than I am as well. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Judith, and hopefully we'll be able to reconnect with her at a future podcast here in the Chamber Influencers Group, and we're extremely privileged and proud and grateful that you've invited us to come on, and particularly myself. But thank you for the opportunity to come in and talk shop about the Chamber. And I'm excited to see everybody's, what they're doing with the Chamber. They're out there. I know your member base is continuing to grow. You got some pretty talented people here. So I'm excited for the connections and the opportunity to learn what everybody else is doing as well.
Thank you, Drew. Very, very kind. And you're so specifically right. The talent that is in this group blows me away at times, to say the least. You have one of the ones that commented today is definitely an aficionado of yours, Greg Adams, and he's helped me a great deal personally, so I appreciate him.
Greg is a great guy, and he's doing some amazing things out there in the West. So it's awesome.
All right, well, I will close this down, and we will move on to not only bigger and better things, not necessarily better. But so we'll look forward to having your feedback in video form and so forth into the group, and we will get this put in the can and move on to the next week. And next week we are not totally firm, I don't think, as far as our guest is concerned. I would be able to announce it now, but it is set up, and it will be very informative. Hopefully, with Judith back in the chair. Thanks, Drew. And everyone have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.